Hey yogi friends, KitKat here. Today's tutorial is on breath awareness, and if you have anxiety or overwhelm, this breathing technique, or these two breathing techniques rather, are going to be just perfect for you. So the reason I wanted to share this tutorial with you today is because in the last 24 hours I have had an enormously stressful, anxiety-inducing situation occur here in Bali. And it went a little something like this. I opened my emails at 8 o'clock last night and read one from my storage facility in Perth, Western Australia that says, "You've been broken into. We've called the police and the forensics have been here. Please contact us as soon as possible." The end. Well, what do you mean I've been broken into? Did they back a truck up to my storage facility and empty it into the truck? Or did they just pick the lock and run away? Be specific, people. We're in a pandemic. I was so stressed. You can imagine. I was my head was spinning. I was all over the shop. I ate again. I didn't need to eat. I wasn't hungry, but in that anxious state, that is one of my response techniques. So I had to drink a lot of water after that because it was bread. I was pacing my room. I was thinking, what can I do? I was like, I can't jump on a plane. I can't do this. I can't do that. And then I went, the only thing that I can do right now that is going to change exactly how I feel is to breathe. And so those two techniques that I used last night are what I want to share with you today. So before we do those, when you get into this state of that anxious response, that panic state of not knowing what that outcome is going to be, I had 3 moments of clarity, which I come back to all the time. So one was, I can't change what I can't change. I'm here in Bali. My storage facility is in Perth. It's 9 o'clock at night by this stage. I cannot change what I cannot change. And interestingly enough, I was listening to a Jay Shetty podcast around fear, and that some of these fears that we have, for me right then, that was a fear of loss, that I had lost these things that I had deemed to be important, or that I have stored there that are important to me. Things that I want to give to my daughter. And he was talking about attachment to those things, and that podcast was enormously helpful for me last night, because it went, well, how attached am I to these things? Is it going to change who I am in this life? The answer to both of those questions is it going to change who I am in this life? No. Am I really attached to those things? Yes. Should I be? No. How do I work my way or in and around or out of that? Or do I want to stay with that attachment in this lifetime? All good questions. So, I cannot change what I cannot change. Number 2 was that I am the master of my destiny right now. So I can take the trajectory that takes me into catastrophic thinking, and that's where you have that little small idea. And the small idea for me last night was, oh, they've broken the lock and rummaged through my storage facility, which then escalated and turned into they've had an 8-hour window, 3 removalist guys have backed a truck up to my storage facility, emptied it and driven off like some sort of cops and robbers film out the gate. So that escalation took probably about 15 minutes, and then I spent a little bit of time up here ruminating, so where that catastrophic thinking came in, and then I went, no, do you know what? I'm not going to live in that space today. I'm not going to live in that space. So my third thought was, how do I fix this? And I've got the answer because I've got the tools now. And you fix that with breath awareness and conscious connection to your breath. Your breath has the ability to change your state of mind, to change your physical state, and to change where you are at in that your personal spiritual space, let's call it that. So your breath can be your anchor into stillness and coming back to some semblance of calm and letting go of that state of anxiety or panic. Because quite often we fear things that we have no control over, that may not even come true or come through. We're just living in that space because somehow the brain, it's how it protects us to some extent. But also the flip side or the downside of that is it takes us into this state of anxiety, which is unnecessary. So, how did I get out of that last night? This is the question. So I have my beautiful t-shirt on here that says, just breathe. And that's exactly what I did. I just breathed. The first thing that I do is, because 4-7-8 breathing for me can be a little bit intense, I find that as I inhale for 4, hold for 7 at the top, I really struggle with the exhale sometimes. So what I need to do first is find that connection, or let my vagus nerve know that I need to find that state of calm. And the way I do that is conscious connection to breath, and I inhale for 5 counts and I exhale for 5 counts. I follow the journey of the breath in and out of the body. Now, all of these breathing techniques that I'll share with you today are nose breathing techniques. We want to breathe through the nose. We want to slow that down. We want to get all that beautiful nitric oxide that's in our paranasal sinuses, and we want to draw that down into the body. And so our first port of call is that 5 and 5 breathing. So inhale 5 counts, exhale 5 counts. Let the vagus nerve know what you want to get up to, and then let it do its job of getting you out of that fight or flight state and shifting you into rest and digest, or rest and reset, which is the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system. And from here, that's where we start to feel that sense of calm, rejoin or re-being calm. So, grounding my feet onto the earth, and I make a conscious decision to do that. I interlace my hands, and the reason that I do this is because, you know, we could go into a big discussion here about mudras and pranic locks, but resting my hands in front of me on the table, closing down my eyes, maybe just rolling the shoulders a little bit, and I feel like I have some support there because my feet are grounded and connected, my hands are rested, which means my shoulders can exist there with limited stress. And I'm going to take an inhale breath through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to exhale through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you'd like to join me, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'll notice what happens as you find that conscious connection to breath is having the mind anchored to the journey of the breath in and out of the nose, in and out of the body, counting your way through that. The brain cannot think of two things at once. It focuses on you counting, allowing the breath to move through the body. All of a sudden, those ruminations of catastrophic thinking starts to disappear. Brilliant, isn't it? Just brilliant. The breath is brilliant. From there, once I've said to the vagus nerve, let's get this parasympathetic nervous system activated, let's get that parasympathetic party started, I start to feel that sense of calm, and I've now got that conscious control of my breath. Now I can move into another level or another layer of breathing, which is our 4-7-8 breathing. And what we want to do here is inhale for 4, we're going to hold our breath at the top for a count of 7, and then you're going to let the breath out for a count of 8. And it may feel like in that first few goes, until you get used to this process or this counting or this pattern, that you want to rush that exhale breath, and it's completely normal. So don't freak out. Just count through there, bring the focus and the awareness to the numbers, and allow the breath just to do its thing in tandem with your counting. Don't rush the inhale. Try and make that as smooth as possible, just as you did in that 5 and 5. We want to even that out a little bit. So again, I keep that grounded connection of my feet to the earth, close down my eyes, so I let go of all of the things that could disrupt me outside. And in our yoga practice, we call this pratyahara, or withdrawal of the senses. I'm going to again interlace my fingers and rest my hands on my table. You might even rest your hands in your lap. You might be lying down in bed when you're doing this. We're going to take an inhale for a count of 4. We're going to hold the breath inside the body for 7 counts. And you're going to slowly exhale the breath for a count of 8. Exhale, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Return to normal breath, and perhaps you're still in that space where 5 and 5 breathing, inhale for 5, exhale for 5 is a nice place to return to. That was just 4 rounds, and I can definitely distinctly feel the difference even when I created that little bit of anxiety as I was making this video. The release as I've come into that 5 and 5 breathing and then moved into tranquilizer breath or 4, 7, 8 breath is distinctly different. So that's what we want to feel, is that sense of calm returning. The beautiful thing about our breath, it's here whenever we need to connect into it. Build that relationship with your breath, people. It's so, so important. There is no limit or maximum or number of times that you should or shouldn't do both of these breathing techniques. You can drop into these at any time of the day. In fact, for me, I probably do it on the hour, every hour. I just check in with that breath awareness. My breathing through my nose, is my breath calm and controlled and even? Do I feel like I'm in that space of equilibrium or balance? And if I don't, for whatever reason, then I activate one of these breathing techniques, particularly 5 and 5. It's always a beautiful spot to check in with. If I do have any anxiety, then I move to that 4, 7, 8, or a combination of 2 of those. Sometimes there is that desire to rush the exit of the breath. Try not to do that, but if you do, don't beat yourself up about it. Just come back to 5 and 5 or 4, 7, 8. Anyway, at the end of this video, my friends, there are 2 slides, and one you can screenshot them because they'll be up there for a couple of seconds. You'll be able to screenshot them, and one actually gives you that 5 and 5 breathing, and the next screenshot or the next slide actually gives you the 4, 7, 8 tranquilizer breath. Screenshot these on your phone. So if you get into that moment of stress or panic, you can go, right, Kit Kat told me this is going to work. What was it? What was it? Until you actually kind of build that habit and make that part of your daily ritual to check in with your breath awareness. So screenshot both of those. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up, give us some love, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Namaste, my yogi friends. Have a beautiful afternoon.